good morning, and welcome to the morning show here on Tobago Updates Television. It is Friday, the 27th day of June, 2025, and we're coming to you live from the Port Mall here in Scarborough, Tobago. I am Adana Kambi. This is the day that the Lord has made, and we will rejoice and be glad in it.
Good morning, and my name is Akinlabi Holder, and it's good to be here the last working day of the week. Adana, I think you told me yesterday that today will be the last working day of the month.
Yes, it is. It's the 27th, I think. Hang on, let me calculate something here. I think we have one more day. I think Monday is the 30th. So that's the last working day of the month. But I mean, we can count today as the last. Because it's Friday, you're kind of winding down. And if you look at my pin today, my pin is a drink. It's a drink, so
you're ready
for them this Friday,
so it's the end of the first half of the year.
That's right, right. Isn't it amazing how quickly the year is running down? We got here. It really is. In record time. There are so many things that happened. Some of the things we even forgot happened, running down in this year. But we must give God thanks for life. He has sustained us and kept us. And there were so many things that in our own strength might have destroyed us. So we have to give God thanks and praise. And viewers, of course, we encourage you also to give God thanks for the life that He has granted you, the things that He saved you from, and the experiences He allowed you to have. So we're so happy that you're here. Of course, we're always happy when you choose us to make us a part of your morning routine, whether you are in your kitchen, whether you are in your garden, or getting ready for work or school. We thank you so much for choosing us. We have a lovely show lined up for you this morning as per usual, but before we get into all of those discussions, we head on over to the news in 90 seconds.
Thank you, Adana. Here is your news in 90 seconds for Friday, June 27th, 2025. Chief Secretary Fali Augustine says $134 million in combined supplemental funding and loan support for Tobago is not enough to drive development. Speaking during the 2025-2026 THA budget debate, he said $32 million allocation and $102 million CAF loan fall short of the island's pressing needs. Augustine called for greater investment, especially in tourism, noting Barbados spent over $40 million US annually on marketing, while Tobago gets less than $10 million US. He insisted Tobago must receive higher funding than Trinidad's district to close the development gap. Up next, with the THA term nearing its end, the PNM Tobago Council held its screening process, reviewing 17 nominees, confirming 7 candidates in one night at the John Dial Community Center. Political leader of the PNM Tobago Council, Ansel Dennis, praised the applicants, especially the involvement of vibrant, servant-driven youths. The confirmed candidates represent Tobago West, with more screening planned for the remaining districts. Dennis, who was also nominated, said the early start is meant to reconnect with residents and ensure candidates are actively serving communities ahead of the polls. And finally, young cricketers in Tobago will take the spotlight as the island hosts its leg of Sports TT Primary School Cricket Festival at Shore Park Recreation Ground today. This follows the leg held on June 23rd and 24th at the Brian Lara Cricket Academy. The festival concludes Sports TT Primary School's cricket coaching program delivered across all 7 education districts. The initiative focused on cricket skills, inclusion, and discipline. Sports TT CEO Jason Williams praised the program's impact, noting over 1,000 students have benefited nationwide. And that was your news in 90 seconds.
Thank you, Biana, for our news there in 90 seconds. And guys, it's screening time.
Yes.
And over the past couple of days, we saw the potential candidates for the PNM in Tobago screening. I saw some faces that are not usually at the fore, kind of going in there for the screening. I don't know what you guys think or what you saw, as it relates to the internal elections there with the Tobago Council of the PNM.
I didn't get to see much imagery from the screening, but the fact that 17 candidates went up for, they said 7 seats in the first instance, that's a lot. And it shows that there's a lot of interest in representation, particularly coming out of the People's National Movement. I guess that seeing that the situation that they find themselves in out of the THA and out of central government, I guess a number of supporters in that party, they want to, make a contribution or give their assistance or help in rebuilding the party. So it's very good to see that so many persons are interested in the governance of Tobago, and I think it could only bode well for Tobagonians.
But being interested, do you think that is enough?
Well, no,
I mean, the thing I've always questioned this, right? What are the criteria? What are the things they look for in terms of a screening? How do you assess somebody to know that they are you assessing them based on the party's policies, or are you assessing them based on national policies in terms of being able to bring some type of resolve or some type of strategy into this space that will kind of create a balance and allow for the people of the people that you are going to govern, allow them some type of lifestyle? I don't know how they do the assessment and the screening.
I think it's a combination of all those factors you mentioned, as well as others. I think they have to balance it between knowledge of governance, popularity on the ground, your capabilities, your competencies, and your understanding of politics, and so many other factors. But it's really a delicate balancing act when choosing candidates. And I get what you're saying, because sometimes we see candidates for whichever political party going up for elections, contesting, and sometimes you have to ask questions about whether this person really have the competencies to do the job. They may have the competencies to be elected, they may be popular, but are they competent enough?
And even
to
they
do
might
the
even
job?
be passionate as well, and passionate is good, but do they have what it takes?
Yes.
And there are certain things that there are qualities that you can have, and there are qualities you can learn, you can train to get them, but there are some qualities that you just must naturally have. I don't know. I don't know what the process is.
Well, I'm not sure who the candidates are that they choose, but let's hope, just for the sake of Tobago, that these candidates are the best possible choices they could have made, and that they do in fact have some sort of genuine good contribution to make, and they have the competencies to govern the island should the PNM be put back in power at the end of December, or maybe the beginning of next year.
I just want to piggyback on what you guys are saying. In terms of the nominees putting forward themselves, we've seen that there's a mixture of youths getting involved into the politics. And I believe that with the youths getting involved, there may be some change, going forward. So that's just my plug there this morning.
And that's a positive sign when you see, because at the end of the day there's going to be a handing over. You have to hand over and hand down, because the older ones, of course, they will get tired, and and they'll have to move on. And it's good to see young people are still interested in politics and governance and leadership. So, and I think we should continue to encourage young people to be a part of what is happening, in a political landscape, in governance and leadership and stuff like that. So let's see how it goes from there.
Yeah, one thing I have to give to you, PNM, as you all mentioned, the young people getting involved. One thing that the PNM is very good at is that sense of continuity within the party, passing on the baton and bringing up the younger generation into the party, into the politics, into matters of governance, whether it's in Tobago or the wider national governance. PNM has a really good system of nurturing the young persons and bringing them forward.
All right, well, let's see how it goes from there. Biana, it's Friday. We're heading into the weekend. We just almost concluded the first half. Can you imagine? The first half of 2025 is almost already gone. Where are we with our goals? Is this a good time to check in? Where are we with our goals?
I believe it's a good time to check in, and I want to ask you, were you consistent for the last 6 months?
Yes, I've been working on a specific project consistently, and I picked up a lot of pace in the last 2 to 3 months thereabouts. So I can say, yes, I am doing pretty okay with that specific project that I'm working on. So I feel a little bit good about myself. I could pat myself on the back this morning.
Awesome.
All right. All right, Biana, thank you so much for being here this morning, and we will see you again next week. In the meantime, do have a wonderful weekend and take care.
Same to you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's that time of the morning where we celebrate with those who are celebrating. It's time for our birthday shout-outs. And as you are aware, the team here at Tobago Updates Television, we love a good celebration. So, of course, this morning we're going to start off by saying happy birthday goes out to Miss Arlene Andrews. Arlene Andrews is celebrating a birthday, and we say happy birthday to you. We pray God's blessings upon your life, and we do hope that you have a wonderful, amazing birthday today. So, happy birthday to you, Miss Arlene Andrews.
And we say happy birthday also to Miss Cheryl and the Freitas Tobias. Yes, Miss De Freitas Tobias, happy birthday to you. We hope that you have an excellent day today, a very blessed day today, and we know you're going to take the celebrations into the weekend. Yes, you might even make it a long weekend, take the day off and celebrate right up until Sunday. We wish that you're covered with God's blessings and you celebrate this with loved ones and surrounded by love throughout the entire weekend.
Yes, my good friend Cheryl and De Freitas Tobias, I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Happy birthday to you, my love, and I pray God's blessings upon your life. We also say happy birthday to Veronica George. Veronica George is celebrating a birthday today, and Veronica, we say happy birthday to you, happy birthday season. We do hope that as you enter into this new chapter that you have beautiful experiences, so happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, Mr. Chester Bob. Happy birthday to you, sir. See you posing there with your shades, looking very cool and collected. We say God's richest blessings to you on this special day. We hope that you take the time off to reflect on your life and reflect on all the things that you have achieved and all the blessings that have come your way over the years. Happy birthday to you, sir.
And we have an anniversary. We're celebrating an anniversary this morning. We say happy 60th wedding anniversary to Mr. and Mrs. Phillips, Mr. Randall Phillips and Mrs. Rita Phillips, from your children Reggie, Hans, Dawn and June Phillips, and grandchildren. 60th wedding anniversary. These people don't even look like if they're 60 yet, you know. So we say happy anniversary to you guys, and of course we pray God's continued blessings upon you. As you can, you're a perfect example of striving in marriage and marital bliss and unity. And I'm sure not without your challenges, but we continue to pray God's blessings upon your life, and that you continue to shine your light upon the life of those you encounter. So happy wedding anniversary to you guys. And ladies and gentlemen, I know we usually say if we don't have your photos, we still celebrate with you. We still want to wish you a happy, whatever you are celebrating, whether it's a birthday, an anniversary, whether it is a migration, you plan a trip and you finally made it out the group chat and you're on the trip, we celebrate with you. But we have a very special celebration this morning, and we want to say happy birthday going out this morning to, well, tomorrow is the birthday, and we want to do it early today, and we say happy birthday to our producer, Mr. Ronell Wood. Ronell Wood is celebrating his birthday tomorrow, and of course from the staff here at Tobago Updates Television, we say happy birthday, Ronell. Happy birthday. Ronell does not like me capturing videos of him at all, so he's always running, but we say happy birthday to you, Ronell. We really appreciate you and all that you do. Happy birthday to you. Yes, the life of the party. So happy birthday, Mr. Ronell Wood. In fact, he's not even in the studio. I don't know where he went, but happy birthday to you. We love you, we appreciate you, and we pray God's blessings upon your life. And we are looking for something a little bit later into tomorrow. So happy birthday to you, Ronell. All right, Akinlabi, who are we having conversations with this morning?
All right, Adana. So this morning we're having conversations with Bishop Lewis, President of Convocation, and he's coming in to talk about the Convocation of Caribbean Ministries International. And then Marcus Daniel is going to take it away. He's going to be talking with Miss Crystal Lashley, who is the manager of the Goodwood Police Youth Club, Kevon Edwards, who is the manager of the Mason Hall Police Youth Club, and Dexter Edwards, the leader of the Mason Hall Police Youth Club, and they're coming to talk about the Mason Hall Police Youth Club Community Under-20 Football League. Yes.
All right. So viewers, of course, we do hope that you could stay with us as we have these conversations this morning. It's Friday, so of course Marcus is going to be here as well to have the sports conversations with you, and we are just having a good time here in studio this morning. We're always so happy when you join us, when you are part of the conversation and you have your say. Remember, you can leave your comments on our Facebook live stream and our YouTube channel. And for those of you who are viewing on AMPLIA 102 or Flow 121 or 130, we welcome you this morning. Before before we go for a break, we have some information for you this morning. The TPP Women's Council, they are hosting a cookout fundraiser rather. It says walk with your belly in your hand. It happens this Friday, today in fact, at the Food Hub from 11 a.m. till. The meats include chicken, fish, and pork with sides of vegetable rice, provisions, cornmeal, cassava, dumpling, pigeon peas, lentil peas, callaloo, and fresh salad. So you can be a part of that. It's happening today at the Food Hub, so you can join them down there. And just in case you didn't cook, there's an option for you today. All right, we're going to go for a short break before we begin conversations in studio this morning. And as we go, we invite you to help us. Share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back.
When the game is on, you don't want to miss the best moments. With AMPLIA TV, you can enjoy our ultimate sports package and watch your favorite games on the go. Stay connected and informed with sports news, scores, and stats with AMPLIA's fastest internet speeds. Up to 1 gigabyte fiber internet, you can stream riveting football action, cricket, NBA games, and much more. With AMPLIA, it's game on. Visit amplia.co.tt or call 800-4663. AMPLIA. Do more, live more.
Do you think you know Premier League or Champions League football? What about international cricket or the IPL and CPL? How about NBA basketball? Well, now you can put your skills to work to earn some extra cash by betting on the games with TT Bet Arena. Simply go to our website, choose a sport you want to bet on, find the games, and place your bets. And with your computer or mobile device, you can bet from anywhere. Just go to ttbetarena.com, sign up for a free account, make a deposit, and start betting. It's that simple. You can even qualify for our $2,000 sign-up bonus. We also have horse racing, plus live casino games where you can bet using TT dollars. And check our new Tobago location at 7B Milford Road, Crown Point. For more info, call or WhatsApp 494-0634. TT Bet Arena, the #1 sports betting company in Trinidad and Tobago.
Hello, New York. Are you ready to celebrate the essence of Crusoe land and the culture of Tobago? Well, get ready for Tobago Day in New York City, hosted by the Tobago Empowerment and Alliance Mission. Sunday, August 17, 2025, Nazareth High School Courtyard, 475 East 57th Street, Brooklyn, New York, 12 noon to 8 p.m. We bring the Tobago vibes to the Big Apple. Live music, Tobago food, cultural performances, and family fun. So bring Tanti, Granny, the uncle, invite the whole neighborhood. Just bring everybody and bring your significant other too. Come celebrate Tobago Day in New York City, Sunday, August 17th, Nazareth High School Courtyard. But hey, I forget to tell all you, it's with 10th anniversary celebration. For more information, call 929-327-7857 or check Team's Facebook and Instagram pages, Team Tobago Day.
Get goals, we've got them. At S&R Hair Fantasy, we provide a wide variety of quality hair, the latest hair accessories, adult toys, skin lightening products, female underwear, and much more under one roof. Check us out on Shelbourne Street in Plymouth or call us at 317-0808. We're open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. S&R Hair Fantasy for queens who know exactly what they want.
Quartz is well known as the Caribbean's largest retailer, providing consumers for generations with the very best products to enhance their homes. This year, we bring our expertise to businesses. Quartz Business Solutions will serve small, medium, and large companies with the very best products at the most competitive prices, backed by warranties and after-sales support. Hoteliers, office managers, restaurants, and so many more. Quartz Business Solutions, a brand of the Unicomer Group.
Tobago, this is your chance to lock in the brunch experience of the summer. Sun up.
Real bad girl get nasty.
The brunch inclusive edition, the ultimate party in the East, where vibrant flavors, refreshing cocktails, and electrifying vibes collide. It's happening on Saturday, July 5th from 3 p.m. at Deltec Compound, Argyle. Bring your coolers, bring your crew, and brunch, sip, and vibe in style. This is the flavorful escape you've been waiting for. Grab your tickets now at Barcode, Pablo Supermarket, Lost Restaurant and Lounge, Deltec Compound, and committee members. Sun up! It's more than a brunch, it's an experience.
Dance Ensemble Tobago presents our signature event, Tobago Dance Sport Championship and Dancing with the Caribbean Stars. Lights, cameras, dance. Our 12th edition on Saturday the 12th of July, 5 p.m. The Shore Park Cultural Complex Auditorium. See our dancers, all ages, compete in waltz, jive, rumba, salsa, mambo, and much more. Our Dancing with the Caribbean Stars. Who will take home the Mirrorball Trophy? Mrs. Takiana Ned Augustine, the wife of the Chief Secretary of the Tobago House of Assembly. Miss Lynette Louis, vocalist entertainer. Mrs. Cassandra Thompson Forbes, journalist and Tobago correspondent. Mr. Javon Carrington, founder and head trainer of Dosfit Studios, and Mr. Julian Skeet, administrator and former TV host. After show dance party with DJ Santa out of Trinidad. Early bird tickets, adults $200, children $75, and general tickets, adults $250 and children $100. Get your early bird tickets now from Dance Ensemble members, D&D Jewelers at Tobago United Cooperative, Milford the 24 gas station in Canaan, and the Shore Park Cultural Complex box office. For more information, you call 772-9049 and 340-5758. You can't miss this one.
All happening this Friday, June the 27th at Shore Park Food Hub. TPP Women's Council present their fundraiser cookout. When I tell you, we have meat, we have chicken, $50. Fish, $60. When I tell you pork, Lord pork, $60. When I tell you, we have sides like vegetable rice, cornmeal dumpling, cassava dumpling. We have kalaloo. We have lentil peas, pigeon peas. When I tell you, watch me, leave home your back, walk with your belly in your hand. When I tell you, and you see them ladies and them, when you hear they cooking that pork, it don't melt in your mouth like marshmallow when you're eating it. When I tell you that pork, the sweet boy. But talk we and buy we out. You know we love that. Just come to Shore Park. We have it. We have quality of food. No black meat. Only gold. Remember TikTok boss tell all of that.
Want to get better? Where to start? What kind of exercise to do? What to eat? How to get restful sleep? Need a doctor to search for root cause? Look no further. Come to Majuba Hill Lifestyle Center Foundation at our Wellness Center in Goodwood, or Food Hub in Darrow Springs, Scarborough, or Doctor's Office in Goodwood and Darrow Spring. Contact 49 Swift 4979 438.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Welcome back, viewers. Welcome back to the Tobago Updates Morning Show. And we have on the line with us Bishop David Lewis, who is the president of Convocation, and he's going to speak to us about the Convocation of Caribbean Ministries International. Good morning and welcome, Bishop David Lewis.
Oh, good morning. Good morning. It's so good to be on your program. It's an honor, especially for the first time. And we want to say how much we appreciate you for giving us this precious time. So good morning to you and all of Tobago.
All right. Good morning, Bishop, once again. Let's get straight into it. Convocation of Caribbean Ministries International. Tell us, what is the Convocation of Caribbean Ministries International?
Yeah. So Convocation of Caribbean Ministries International was birthed 28 years ago, where we saw there was a need for Caribbean integration. And when we say Caribbean integration, I'm not just talking spiritually, but I'm talking socially. People of God from all the different islands of the Caribbean coming together, that our voice will be heard. We were seeing that, as I said, the voice of the big names and was heard in the nations of the earth. So we wanted to give the men who live on the bank of the Demerara River. We want to let the voice of the man who live on the mountains of Grenada to be heard, who had a word from God and who had a word for the nation. We were told by the Lord, we were directed by the Lord to really focus on networking and building of strong relationships. We were found out that there were men, women of God, the people of God, even in our communities, didn't know each other's name, didn't have a good relationship together. And so we named it Convocation of Caribbean Ministries because we were gathering the saints, and not just the saints, because there are people who in our community that is willing to be part of what we are doing. Amen. As long as they obey the rules and the guidelines. So we give not just the church, but we give the community a time to come and participate and build strong, meaningful network and build strong relationships. So after every convocation that we have had throughout the Caribbean, from Jamaica, St. Croix, St. Thomas, U.S. Virgin Islands, we give them the opportunity, and Tobago, Suriname. We give folks the opportunity that we can come together as a family and let our voice be heard. And we will make our voice heard not just by singing and worshiping and clapping, but we'll make our voice heard in connecting. When we come to Tobago, is to connect with Tobago. And that's why we'll be on the streets and we'll be on the highways and the byways. And we are making a statement. It's time that Caribbean integration become a reality and not just a byword.
Yeah, so you sort of touched on the next question I wanted to ask you there. So you're having a conference in Tobago starting from tomorrow, right up until July the 5th. Just give us some more information in terms of the conference, what you all are going to be discussing in the conference, how many persons, how many delegates you expect, when will these delegates start arriving. Just give us the full rundown of what to expect over this next 7-day period.
Right. So in the next 7-day period, the delegates, some of them are already there, just trying to prepare because we prepare our own meals. So they're there already. We have had to go in and get guests' houses. And we had to make sure that our Caribbean people, that they wouldn't have to pay extra cost and extra price. So we got the best deals for them. So some of them are there already, but the meetings really start on Sunday afternoon at the Esplanade, Sunday at 5 p.m. We are so blessed, and we really want to give God thanks for the House of Assembly, who have really accepted us and who have really invested in what we are doing. A few Caribbean nations have done that. But we really want to thank God for the reception of the Tobago House of Assembly. So we start at the Esplanade on Sunday at 5 p.m. in the afternoon, Sunday at 5 p.m. Also, we want you to know that the convocation is geared for the whole of Tobago. The man on the street, the man in the liquor shop, whoever you are, we are there. We are there also to present Christ to you, the hope of our nation. And therefore, our theme is love in action. We're going to demonstrate that love. So we start on Sunday, and that opening session, we call it a official session, where we invite the government official, we invite folks in the community. We give an official invitation, the pastors, the churches, and it starts at 5 and it finishes at 8. It will finish at 8 on Sunday. The day sessions start from Monday morning. All right. So Monday morning, our day sessions start at Pastor Ramdale Church there in Tobago. And the day session is not a session where we will just teach in Bible. We will not just be only touching on the Bible. We are Bible-based, but we will be doing a healthcare session. Amen. Where the community people will come in, our delegates will come in, and we have the doctors from Tobago who will be doing a particular workshop. We do workshop on finances. We do workshop on child abuse. And these are the type of workshop that we are doing to educate our people into how do we deal with our present situation. So we start our workshop on Monday and we finish on Wednesday. We give the delegates 2 days, the Thursday and the Friday, to enjoy Tobago. So they will be spending some of their money, man, from Guyana. Folks are coming in from Brazil. Folks are coming from the US, from Canada. More of the folks is coming from Guyana and Trinidad, Grenada. So we give them the opportunity to enjoy Tobago on the Thursday and the Friday, because we are saying that we want to address the issue of the whole man.
Right. And Bishop Lewis, just tell us what some of these workshops would entail. You said these workshops will be starting on Monday. Just tell us what some of these workshops would entail. Is it training? Is it evangelism workshops, so forth?
Yes, our workshop will already entail training. We are focusing on training. And that's the reason why we have chosen to do healthcare. We'll do workshop on healthcare, workshop on finance, workshop on child abuse. The presenters, most of them will be there from Tobago that we have asked to come in and do these workshops. So question could be asked, and it is a workshop. It's not preaching to the folks, but as the theme of our convocation is networking and building strong relationships. So at the end, we will be educated on how do we deal with these kids, physically challenged children, the issue of child abuse. There's some issue of violence and stuff in our land. So these are the issues that we will be dealing with.
And I see that the workshops really get towards some more addressing some more pragmatic issues within society. For the convocation, how important is it to you all that you address the burning pragmatic needs of the various communities across the Caribbean, even before you start evangelizing to them? How important is it for you all to really address some of these burning needs?
Well, we deal with needs and those things that are ever before us. We addressing them because we want the nations, there's hope for the nation. And in every nation, God has given the people their gifts, their talents. So when we come to Tobago, we are not just going to say to Tobago that we have the answer. We are letting Tobago know too that they have the answer. And that's why we take personnel, qualified personnel, who is going to join with us, and they're going to help us minister. And when I say minister, help us to identify the issues and how do we deal with it, what kind of resources, because if we're going to deal with the issues, there must be an investment to bring what God is saying or bring the solutions to the problem. So we are coming to Tobago, and when we come, we are not coming with all the answers. We believe that Tobago will also help identify to us what is happening in this particular geographical location. And then it is not just a one-time stuff. We will continue to work along with the pastors, work along with the community, and see what way we can excel or we can assist that community, that church could be all that God desired them to be. So we are really not coming to say that we have all the answers, but we are coming to say that together with Tobagonians, Trinidadians that we are working with, amen, we will allow God to use us in whatever way to bring to pass His word in the life of His people.
And Bishop Lewis, I know across the Caribbean and really and truly across the entire world, we've seen a really serious degradation of society and morals and morality. What role do you see the church in really be intervening in society and redeeming society, to say the least?
Amen. And I'm glad you asked that, because I think, first of all, the church have to recognize that for the moral fabric of a society, there's a responsibility that lies upon the church. Because sometimes we want to put it on the government. And I know the government have a part to play. Governments, they are responsible for roads, for utilities, for healthcare, for education. But as we read the scripture, the church is really responsible for the moral fabric of the nation. All right? So the thing that we believe, and we have to say it openly, the challenges is with the church. Because if what binds the people binds us, we would not be able to deliver them. And let me simplify that. If the people are cursing or cussing and we are cursing as the church, it's who delivering who. If they are drinking and we are drinking, who delivering who? So what I'm saying is, as you said, is that we are also educating the church that we have to rise and be that example, be that model, amen. Be a powerful church, a church that is full, that is demonstrating the power of God. So we would not just be saying things, but we must be able, to do things. And that is our challenge as we come to Tobago. We are coming there to say, we are not just coming to preach and say a few words, but we are coming to see how we're going to reach people, because we want to be able to bless people in particular way. I really cannot say exactly on air what we're going to do, but that is our assignment. Not just to tell the brother that Jesus loves you, but we're going to demonstrate that may it be physically, spiritually, financially. Yes, we're going to lay hands and pray, but we're going to reach people really by example. And so that is where we're going to base our training, direct our training to not just talking, saying wonderful, nice things, but be an example of what we are saying. Like, for instance, sometimes there are people coming to our land, they say they come to bless our land. And when they are leaving, they are taking more than what they say they came to bless. So we believe if we come to bless the land, the resources, whatever we are coming in, when we leave Tobago, Tobago must be a better place. Or somebody must experience something wonderful, significant from this convocation.
Yes. All right, Pastor Bishop Lewis, just give us one last plug for the convocation of Caribbean Ministries International. Just recap for us when it's going to be, where the delegates are coming from, and so forth.
All right, so the delegates are coming, and I just call in some of the countries, Brazil, we have from Canada, US, and more from the Caribbean, from Grenada. We have coming from Guyana, coming from almost all over the Caribbean. And we are coming to join together. As I said, our focus is networking and building a strong relationship. So even when we leave Tobago, these folks from the different islands, nation, they will develop friends in Tobago that they wouldn't need us as the leadership to connect with a friend or family member. We start on Sunday afternoon at 5 p.m. at the Esplanade. As I said, we are blessed to have the presence of some of the leadership from the House of the Assembly being there with us. The presence of pastors. We sat with the pastors. Amen. We thank God for Pastor Holder, the president of the Tobago Fellowship there, Bishop Holder, who have graciously welcomed us. And we will continue our session on Monday, as I said, at 9:30, all right, a.m. And we finish at 12. And then in the afternoon on Monday, we'll be in the heart of Scarborough. These meetings would not be held in the afternoon time in any enclosed building. We will be right in the heart of Scarborough with approximately 200 delegates having our opening session, just declaring the word, praying for people. So the evening session will be more evangelistic. We are not going in a building on the evening. We're meeting the people, the tourists on the streets. So we'll be in Scarborough. On Tuesday, we'll be in Black Rock. Amen. They told us of the challenges there. And we're going to go in the basketball court on Tuesday evening at 5:30 again, going through the community. Whatever challenge they have, we at the church, our presence have to be felt. We're going to be relating, ministering, feeding, and doing what God has called us to do for that community. And our last night, which is the Wednesday night, we will be right there in Crown Point. There's a car park there. We'll have our truck, our music, amen, and our delegates. We will be right where the tourists are. We'll be reaching out to the tourists. We'll be reaching out to every Tobagonian. We are just there to be a blessing, amen. So our team is love in action, so we're going to demonstrate that when we come to Tobago. We thank God for the privilege and for the grace and for you allowing us just sharing that. So we are coming to demonstrate this love, this gospel that we preach, all these wonderful things we are saying. We are believing that people will get healed. We believe in healing. We believe in laying hands of the sick. And we are also believing after we have finished preaching to people, we must bless them. So we want to come and demonstrate that in Tobago.
Thank you very much, Bishop David Lewis, President of Convocation, and talking about the Convocation of Caribbean Ministries International. We wish you all the best, and we hope that you have a good day, and take care.
So God bless you. See you there on Sunday, 5:30 at the Esplanade.
All right, you take care, sir.
Thank you very much for hosting us.
All right, viewers, so we have to go on a break now, but we ask you to help us. Share the live, share the live, share the live. When we come back, Marcus Daniel will be up with the sports segment.
Welcome to Tobago Glass Supplies. where innovation meets excellence and service reigns supreme.
Well, I want a proper window for me house, yeah? I want no shake thing in my place.
Our commitment is simple: to provide high-quality, innovative aluminum, vinyl, and glass solutions for both commercial and residential spaces.
We get one wall on the side and we get one hole. You can put a window there, invent something, a window for put there.
At TGSL, we don't just meet needs, we exceed expectations. Our range includes the finest aluminum cladding options, setting new standards in durability and style.
Well, me meet ya. Me don't know who I'm talking to, but cousin Tufina tell me for call all you go get proper thing for put there. Me don't know.
Driven by our passion to elevate, we aim to be the leading supplier in the Caribbean market while retaining our identity as a family-owned business.
Driven? No, I ain't driving. I get a bus ticket. One of me pick me them go drop me down there. Must bring me down there. Russo Trace Springer down by the page down there.
Because at Tobago Glass Supplies Limited, it's not just about products, it's about relationships. It's about you.
It's all about me? Who's your family? You know Edna and Dorka and them, you know them, but you resemble them Edward boy and them Edward people them you.
Tobago Glass Supplies, Russo Trace Spring Garden, telephone number 639-6266. Innovation, quality, service. That's Tobago Glass Supplies Limited.
Are you in a dispute with a registered investment service provider of the TTSEC? Or maybe you're the victim of an investment scam? You can lodge a complaint or submit an anonymous tip to the Trinidad and Tobago Securities and Exchange Commission. Download our Investor Protection app or go to ttsec.org.tt to access our complaint form or submit an anonymous tip. Write a clear summary of your complaint. Submit copies of supporting documents along with the originals for verification. Provide a copy of the feedback received from the entity regarding your complaint. All investor complaints or scam reports submitted by the public are acknowledged and reviewed by the TTSEC. Investigations are pursued based on the outcome of the review. Trinidad and Tobago Securities and Exchange Commission, protecting the interests of investors and the public. You invest, we protect. Everyone benefits.
Hello, New York. Are you ready to celebrate the essence of Crusoe land and the culture of Tobago? Well, get ready for Tobago Day in New York City, hosted by the Tobago Empowerment and Alliance Mission, Sunday, August 17th, 2025, Nazareth High School Courtyard, 475 East 57th Street, Brooklyn, New York, 12 noon to 8 p.m. We bring the Tobago vibes to the Big Apple. Live music, Tobago food, cultural performances, and family fun. So bring Tanti, Granny, the uncle, invite the whole neighborhood. Just bring everybody and bring your significant other too. Come celebrate Tobago Day in New York City, Sunday, August 17th, Nazareth High School Courtyard. But I forget to tell all you, it's the 10th anniversary celebration. For more information, call 929-327-7857 or check Team's Facebook and Instagram pages, Team Tobago Day.
You think you know Premier League or Champions League football? What about international cricket or the IPL and CPL? How about NBA basketball? Well, now you can put your skills to work to earn some extra cash by betting on the games with TT Bet Arena. Simply go to our website, choose a sport you want to bet on, find the games and place your bets. And with your computer or mobile device, you can bet from anywhere. Just go to ttbetarena.com, sign up for a free account, make a deposit, and start betting. It's that simple. You can even qualify for our $2,000 sign-up bonus. We also have horse racing, plus live casino games where you can bet using TT dollars. And check our new Tobago location at 7B Milford Road, Crown Point. For more info, call or WhatsApp 494-0634. TT Bet Arena, the #1 sports betting company in Trinidad and Tobago.
Dance Ensemble Tobago presents our signature event, Tobago Dance Sport Championship and Dancing with the Caribbean Stars. Lights, cameras, dance, our 12th edition on Saturday the 12th of July, 5 p.m. The Shore Park Cultural Complex Auditorium. See our dancers, all ages, compete in waltz, jive, rumba, salsa, mambo, and much more. Our Dancing with the Caribbean Stars. Who will take home the Mirror Ball Trophy? Mrs. Takiana Ned Augustine, the wife of the Chief Secretary of the Tobago House of Assembly. Miss Lynette Louis, vocalist entertainer. Mrs. Cassandra Thompson Forbes, journalist and Tobago correspondent. Mr. Javon Carrington, founder and head trainer of Dosfit Studios. And Mr. Julian Skeet, administrator and former TV host. After show, dance party with DJ Santa out of Trinidad. Early bird tickets, adults $200, children $75, and general tickets, adults $250 and children $100. Get your early bird tickets now from Dance Ensemble members, D&D Jewelers at Tobago United Cooperative, Milford the 24 gas station in Canaan, and the Shore Park Cultural Complex box office. For more information, you call 772-9049 and 340-5758. You can't miss this one.
Rotisserie, mouth-watering fries, salads, combos, and specials galore. Feeling for something to eat? Come and see. Our rotisserie is seasoned to the T. Kicking chicken, masala, and jerk roast. Crispy fries made from scratch. Who do you know can beat that? Or salads freshly cut and packed. When you taste it, you'll be wanting to come back. So come check us out on number 2 Robinson Street, Uptown Scarborough, Tobago. We open on Saturday nights from 7:30 to 11:30 p.m. Monday to Thursday, we're open from 10 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. and on Friday, 10 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Contact us at 772-7443 and all social media handles at The Rotisserie Factory.
So guys, there are some new developments in housing in Tobago. So it's goat racing time. This is 116, the show that keeps you in the know with all things Tobago House of Assembly. Each week, 116 delivers a fun and engaging overview of the latest developments, achievements, activities, and events of our dynamic assembly. So join me. Let's dive into the Tobago House of Assembly's Week in Review right here on 116.
How it's gonna go. They better look up below, 'cause this is your show, and everybody's gonna know. Say it to them once again. They better look up below. This is your show, and everybody's gonna know. That's how it's gonna go. They better look up below, 'cause this is your show. Live more.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Hi viewers, welcome back, and of course, thank you so much for staying tuned to Tobago Updates Television. It's Friday, 27th June, and we are into the sporting segment. So this morning, we're going to be talking to the Mason Hall Police Club, and it's all about their Under-20 Community Football Tournament. The final, it takes place this Sunday. In the community of Mason Hall. And on set with me this morning, I have the man in charge of that Mason Hall Police Club, Mr. Dexter Edwards. And I also have a manager I mean, sometimes he's a cricketer, Sir Kevin Edwards, and of course also Miss Lindsay, Crystal Lindsay, manager of Goodwood. So we have Goodwood and we have Masonol in the final, Mr. Edwards.
Yes, sir.
All right. Let's talk about the league first before I get to Lindsay and Edwards about bantering who's gonna win the final and all these different things. Just tell me about the league itself.
Okay. One of the the major concept behind the league is really getting young persons engaged, right? And we wanted it to be more community focused. That was the key thing about it. Again, this camaraderie in the community. What I also heard is the first time that that our community league has just catered for under 20 for youth.
Yeah, even TFA. I can't think Tobago Football Association would have had a youth-oriented league, and normally it's for seniors. So as someone in sports, this is the first time I'm actually hearing of a under 20 community league in that sense. So kudos to the Masonol Police Club.
Right, and the thing is, a number of teams wanted to get involved, but based on resources and so we could only cater for like 8 teams this time. So we had them in 2 groups, and to actually spread it out in the communities, we had games catered for Table Peace in Lescato and Codler Hall to spread it out. So we didn't want to be celebration and hold everything in Masonol, right? Unfortunately, Codler Hall field couldn't facilitate the game, so the games was actually played at Lescato and Mason Hall. Right, and I have to thank the teams for the overwhelming interest. Right, we had no problems in getting the 8 teams that we were actually looking for. Right, and what is great is that we have seen the positives of the tournament because we have seen a lot of school coaches coming and watching the league to look at their players.
Scouting.
Right, yeah, and also looking at how their players will develop. I think from listening, to all the comments, it also gave these school boys a little practice before the actual school league coming up.
Yeah.
And it was really great, to see these guys in their own space, among them own selves, competing together. It was really nice. And from the start to now, we have seen the growth. And what's amazing to me is that they were actually training. A lot of times, sports in Tobago, team just show up and play. But these guys were actually training. So, it shows that, there's other positives that actually came out of the tournament.
Yeah, and who are the 8 teams?
Okay, it was Goodwood and Masonol were in the finals now.
We'll get to this.
Right, we have Golden Lane and we have Northside Combined Rising Stars. They are in the 3rd place playoff also on Sunday. We also had Codler Hall. I can remember those 5. Patience Hill, Mount St. George. Yeah, I think those.
So we're basically village teams, not just clubs,
communities,
not clubs, but teams coming from a village and participating.
You must come from a community.
From a community, and what 11 aside, what
10 aside.
10 aside.
Yeah.
Okay, and you have to be under 20 to participate.
Yes.
Any females involved or just strictly?
No, strictly males.
Strictly males.
And what was also interesting that we were actually looking at giving them as much exposure as possible. So we had actually approached the national under 20 coach to give the MVP in the league opportunity for trials, with the national team. So everything we do, we always look at, the best positives actually coming out of the initiative.
Right. And then tell me about the format. How did you arrive at Goodwood and Masonol at the finals?
Okay, we had the 8 teams in 2 groups. Alright, so the top 2 teams in each groups after the preliminary round would contest the semi-finals. So Goodwood and Mason Hall were the eventual winners in the semi-final.
Fantastic. And Edwards, manager of the Mason Hall team, the home team. Let's tell me about how have you been enjoying the tournament and Mason Hall's road to the finals?
Yeah, the tournament was good. I don't want to say easy to some. We had like an easy breeze shooting.
Easy. Who did you play against in your matches?
It was Goodwood, Castor, and Codler Hall.
Right. And unbeaten?
Yeah, unbeaten so far.
Right, so you've been enjoying the play. And just tell me your thoughts about this initiative, because you play senior football, right? And tell me about this initiative by the Masonol Police Club to have this youth tournament.
Well, for me, it's a very good initiative because we see a lot of development. We see a lot of youths excited about looking forward to this tournament for the coming years, because you have young players, all 14, 12 years, asking, so when I keeping the next year I could play. So it's seen that it have youths interested in coming up in this tournament.
Yeah, fantastic.
So for the future of football, I feel it's a very good initiative and it's something to look forward to in the future.
Yeah, and what are your expectations on Sunday?
Yeah, my expectation is to go out and beat Goodwood as bad as we can and walk away the trophy and the grand prize.
Well, I want to bring Lindsay in this one time. So Lindsay, I'm sure you have heard that comment there from Mr. Edwards. I mean, they are coming to beat Goodwood bad, and Goodwood representing that is north side, that east. That is east. You're representing the east, Lindsay. Just give me your thoughts on the tournament and your road to the finals as well.
So hi, good morning, Tobago. So first of all, I just want to make a correction. So the surname is Lashley.
Lashley, sorry.
Yes, no problem. So in terms of the tournament, thus far, I must say that I am really proud of the young fellas that actually came out and showed interest. And as I said before, I would have made mention, they are really, how to say it, like in terms of we trying to develop them holistically, in getting them not really into the sporting aspect only, but trying with every other aspect that we should, I think that we should, more or less, yeah, I think, yeah.
Yeah, and how confident are you guys going into Sunday's final?
As I will have mentioned, we are pretty confident in the aspect of, we had a little, before when we would have played Mason Hall, I was saying that they shouldn't have beat us, but again, football is a game.
So Mason beat us already?
Yeah, so in the group, as Mr. Edward would have mentioned,
yes.
Right? So we both were in the same group, which is Group A.
Right.
And we would have topped, and then we would have beat somebody from the team in Group B. I think that was Golden Lane, in order to reach to the finals. So again, we are here battling again with Mason Hall.
So what can we expect differently from Goodwood going into this final match? Because I mean, group stages, they're trying to qualify for the semi-finals. I know you are in the finals. I mean, are you guys going to do something differently? Or I mean, you don't have to say it on air, but I mean, what differently are you guys going to do to get the better of Mason Hall, obviously at home?
Well, what I will say is that, as Mr. Edward would say, on Mason Hall on Sunday at 6:30 p.m. be there to witness, and we shall see who will take the crown. Because I'm saying, football is a game we know that let's play on the day.
Yes.
Right? So it all depends. Yeah. And I am not more or less frightened with my boys. They are more than well capable. And I will be behind them full 100. And as I say, we will see.
So who can the public look forward to see on the Goodwood team? I mean, who are some of your leading players?
So we have Mr. Israel Mundy. We have also Jonah Mundy. We have Antonio Murray. Those are some of our top scorers thus far, including Mr. Julian Andrews and Hassani Robley.
Fantastic. I mean, and as somebody dealing with young people, you know, sometimes they can be very hard to deal with. I mean, how has that been for you in terms of organizing the team, mobilizing, getting them from Goodwood to Mason Hall, what's a nightly basis, nighttime the matches played?
Morning, afternoon.
Afternoon, yeah. How has that been for you in organizing and mobilizing?
In terms of organizing the boys, that is not hard. They really look forward for this. They're really excited. Coming together is the easy part for them.
Yeah.
What was a lot ticklish, more or less, was the transportation-wise to organize, to get these young men to Mason Hall and on time and following the rules.
Yeah.
You know, for them to be there at least half an hour before the games to be ready and so forth. It was a little bit challenging because, as we would have said, we don't have access to transportation. We would have used members from the Police Youth Club, who would have more or less volunteer to transport, right?
Yeah.
So sometimes we may be going on a van back ride. Some of them we may have been, you know, the carpooling, that's far,
Yeah, and I expect the whole of Goodwood to be there on Sunday to support the Goodwood youth. I mean, and Kev one as well. I mean, you didn't have all that challenge. You just had to walk to the ground.
Yeah, well, I had few challenges in the aspect as after the games I have players from Roxbury.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Right.
And I have players from Plymouth, so I don't make sure they make sure because I can't leave them on the field. Stranded after the game. So yeah, it was a kind of after the game I had to run tongue. After I take the one.
A real manager boy.
Yeah. Can't leave the youths behind. I don't make sure everybody won.
10,000 at stake. I mean, if it so happened that you're winning the title and $10,000, how are you going to divide this $10,000? Or what are you going to do with $10,000? You're going to start an academy? What are you going to do?
Well, I wouldn't start an academy because $10,000 carry this and that. So
I can buy some boot
whenever
and
we win with the straight up among the youths and
yeah.
then they get some who are to buy a boots, who are the days, you know. There's youth, they ain't working, they got happy people, they look at change in their pocket.
Ah, nice man. I'm excited. As the flyer would have indicated there, Assemblywoman Natisha Charles Pantin as a patron of the event. I mean, tell me about her involvement in the event.
Well, I have to say kudos to her.
Right.
Because, you know, she have heard us, you know, talking about the idea and you know, she immediately you know, got interested because she saw the aspect of community and youth involvement. You know, so that was up her alley. So she has no problem, no hesitation in terms of supporting the initiative.
Fantastic. And then as well to wrap, tell me about Sunday's event. I mean, just to have 2 games of entertainment. What can the public expect on Sunday?
Right, so we will have entertainment. It's a little secret. Right, but we definitely have some entertainment. We try to make, you know, the event as glorious as possible because, you know, we really appreciated, you know, the participation of the teams and what they did.
Yeah.
So we are going to have some exciting things on Sunday.
Yeah, and what time we're starting? Who are the teams playing the third place? And obviously we know Goodwood versus Mason for the final. Who are the teams playing the third place?
So we have Northside Rising Stars, which basically make up of communities from Palative to Lansome and Golden Lane. So they'll be playing Golden Lane in the third place. So that's scheduled to start at 5 p.m. and the finals will start at 7 p.m.
And the venue is
Elizabeth Dennis Beard Grounds in Mason Hall.
So outside of the team prizes, because I saw 10,000 first prize. Any other individual awards to expect as well?
All right. So just to run through the prizes quickly. Well, before we got to this stage, there was the knockout competition.
All right. So tell me about that.
So you have to say congrats to Mason.
So
they have
easy boy. So you're looking for the double. They're looking for the double.
Yeah. So they have played unbeaten so far.
Right.
And so they won $3,000 in the knockout.
Right.
That was one
so
knockout
who did they
competition.
defeat? Who did the guys defeat in the finals for the knockout?
Castor.
Oh, so Castor didn't make it into the league aspect of things.
Right.
I mean, home team, what's it? It's happened.
No, but now because because the league was officiated by the official Tobago Referees Association. So I know those people may want to say, okay, it might be biased me, some police shoot club based. No, is not the case.
This is sport. You'll always get that.
Right. So they have basically played unbeaten, and I must say, well, 2 of the better teams in the league had made the finals. They had a very close contest the first time, 2-1.
2-1, right?
Right. So, and I know Miss Lashley secretly strategy
yes. I mean, the good thing is that they would have played each other before.
Yes.
So obviously they would have gone back to the drawing board, and we should expect a really good final on Sunday.
No, and I'm going to have a very strong team. So it's not going to be no walk up on this store, as my friend here want to suggest.
I like that. I mean, you have to be confident, right?
Right. And other things we looked at to the games were basically played on Sundays, so there was no stress for the teams, you know, to really get there.
Yeah.
And the second prize knockout was $1,500 in the league. The top prize is $10,000. The second place is $6,000. $4,000 for the third place and $2,000 for the fourth place.
Good funds, man. Good funds.
Right.
And they had to pay to register?
Yes.
Okay.
It was minimum.
The
main thing in this competition was really youth engagement.
Yes,
so it was very minimum. I think it was the cheapest league in Tobago.
So, but already you have impacted because 8 teams, and how many players you had to register?
All right. I think some teams have as much as 25, 26 players.
So, 25 by 8. That is, I mean, close to 160, 170 players in total. Young players participating in a league. Against their peers, because we have seen in the senior competition, we have had young players playing with big men.
Yes.
And it's good to see that we have a youth-oriented competition. And you mentioned that you had players from all over Tobago, Roxborough and all them different places. So it bringing communities together, if you want to put it that way.
All right, well, what we did, you know, to make it easier for some of the communities is that we allowed them to have the maximum 5 outside players.
Oh, that's
so. But the core of your team from your
community.
Yeah, okay. So they were allowed the maximum 5 players from outside the community.
Yeah. Right. Community engagement. I mean, fantastic work by the Mason Police Club. I mean, what else have you guys been up to?
All right, to mention that, well, we competed in the entries national junior championships. That's in track and field last weekend.
Yeah.
And we came 5th out of 49 clubs.
Right.
So we are proud of that.
Top 10.
All right. Next weekend, next weekend we are actually having our annual sports in Trinidad. We had to go to Trinidad to Hazy Crawford Stadium. This time, so it's very challenging.
Right. But it's going to be an experience as well.
Yes. We appreciate challenges. Because, the Dry Talk Stadium right now is not track and field friendly, so we have to actually go to Trinidad. The following weekend, we are actually going on an athletic tour to Curacao.
Right.
So it's 3 weekends back to back. So it has its challenges.
Yeah.
And all of them involve, major funding and so.
So that this trip is to participate, or just a nice relaxing trip for the?
No, it's not relaxing at all because we are actually going to compete in an athletic meet that will facilitate, teams from all over the Caribbean. Some are as fast as like Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a lot of teams that's going to be involved in that competition.
Fantastic. Good luck there as well. And before we go, Kevin, any final word you want to shout out to our sponsor? You want to rally up your supporters come out on Sunday?
And I just want to encourage all the communities to come out, even the teams that didn't make it to the finals or the semi-finals.
Right.
I still hope to see them on the day.
Yeah.
Come on, support. See how the league ends.
Yeah.
I want to thank everyone that supported the Mason next gen team so far.
Yeah.
All the sponsors. I also want to say best of luck to Goodwood on the day. A fair, clean game.
Yeah.
And let me come out and have fun.
Wait, I didn't shout out your players. What's some of the players we should look forward to from Mason Hall's team?
Well, it have the captain, Mr. Kendall, Kyle and Devines. It have Jelani Johnson, Varel Wilson. They have Daviel Thomas with another Spongy.
Spongy, man. Yeah, man.
Yeah. The goalkeeper, Naomi Walker, he's a Castara man.
Castara all the time.
Yeah. So it have a very, it have my top leading goal scorer so far, Malik Wilson.
How many goals is on?
I think it's 4 or 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic. A well put together team. And Mr. Lashley, any final words? You could be brave and say you're going to mince him up. You're going to mince him up on Sunday.
So as my colleague would have said before, I just want to say all the best to Mason Hall. Must say congratulations and all the best to all the teams that participated. Trust me, they did a really good job for the young people. And also I just want to take this time to say thanks to our sponsorship such as JW Sports Store right on Port Mall here. We have Mr. Jeffrey Hazard, we have Miss Dani Job, we have Akani's Otto. We must say thank you so much, and we look forward to you guys to come out and support us on Sunday, and let's see who will take the trophy.
Fantastic. And Dexter, before you go, any final word?
No, don't just say it. She's very quiet. Trust me, she's quietly confident.
She's confident. I get the feeling as well.
Right, but I mean, for our first time, I really want to thank the members of the club who would have really, gotten behind this process to make it very efficient. We really have to say thank you to the Tobago Football Referees Association. They have done a fantastic job. You know what I mean? So we have to really say kudos to them too. And a league like this couldn't run without sponsors. Yes. So of course, Assemblywoman Miss Natisha Charles Pantin is a major sponsor of the tournament.
Fantastic.
But we also had assistance from EA Integrity Construction Limited. Devines Plumbing, they are located at
Devines. Yes.
Right, and we had Independence Hardware Store, Georgia Boys.
Yes.
Right, and WB Grocery.
Yes.
In government household. So they were the major sponsors who assisted in helping out with this tournament. And I must have to thank all the teams, the interest that they showed coming at the time and so on. You really have to thank them. And going forward, the prospects is very great. I mean, a lot of people just like the idea. They see that something new, something very positive. So God's spare life, we look forward to next year.
Yeah, fantastic. And I want to thank you guys so much for being here this morning. And I want to wish both teams all the best on Sunday. And, who will walk away with the $10,000? I mean, $10,000, it could be Christmas in July or June, Christmas in June for Kevin. And I'm happy that you mentioned, give the youngsters a little change. Buy a little shoe, buy a little jersey, it's summertime in that sense. So good luck to you guys and Mr. Dexter again. Wonderful initiative. Keep up the good work with the Mason Hall Police Club. So viewers, we've been chatting there with the Mason Hall Police Street Club. It's all about their Under 20 Community Football League final this Sunday in Mason Hall. It's going to be Goodwood taking on the home team Mason Hall. Where will you be? One place to be on Sunday in Mason Hall. Who will walk away with $10,000? I think I'm going to be there to get 500 from Kevin or from Michelle Ashley. Well, guys, thank you so much for staying tuned. Don't forget, on the other side of the break, we have Miss Chanel Felix with Good Morning Tobago. But of course, do us a favor. Share the live, share the live, share the live.
Pertain to the primary preliminary, the training session is to just ensure that the students are aware of what the procedures of the sittings are. That is how they address the chair upon arrival, how it is that they address the chair when they leave, that they are familiar with the standing orders that they need to use, that they are aware of how the sitting flows from the time a motion is moved, from the time a motion is proposed, and from when the question is put and voted upon. But we just want to ensure and to make sure that they feel that the space is safe, that they could have a conversation about a very important topic that is there to Tobagonians, internal self-government for Tobago. And this experience would help them in time to come.
This year for them, they had the opportunity to speak with the Chief Secretary, so he was our subject matter expert. So they was able to ask him questions and autonomy, what they think his personal views are on some of those matters. And it was really enlightening for them. So they got to see what OCS looks like, the new Hochoich House facility there, and so on. So we just edging them or easing them into the procedure.
Right now, my nerves have been calmed. I thought it would have been more nerve-wracking than this, and I'm relieved that it is like that.
It has been very, I would say, new, because I'm not accustomed to this, but I'm getting to know things about the house, and I really enjoy it at this point in time. I will have to pay attention, because when you listen, you will be able to interrupt just in case you realize something is wrong with the opposition.
That was a production of the Department of Information, Office of the Chief Secretary, Tobago House of Assembly.
You're viewing Tobago Updates Television, your exclusive gateway to Tobago, broadcasting the beauty of this island paradise to the world.
brand new dawning as the passion start to rise. The energy fill the skies. I say thanks a favor to wake up and hear my neighbor. 60,000 people strong and the vibes is never wrong. We are beauty, we are power. We are people in the sun. We are beaches, we are rivers. We are melanated ones. We special and there is no denying. Tobago is number one. I am you and you are me. Together we're stronger. Good morning, Tobago. Good morning.
Good morning, and welcome back to Good Morning Tobago right here on Tobago Updates, guys. I am your host, Chanel Felix. And you know, whenever you see me sitting here, it's because we're about to have those conversations that you want to have while I ask those questions that you want asked. But before we get into this morning's interesting topics and conversations, let's have our news in 90 seconds. Chief Secretary Ali Augustine says the $134 million in combined supplemental funding and loan support for Tobago is not enough to drive development. Speaking during the 2025-2026 THA budget debate, he said the $32 million allocation and $102 million CAF loan fall short of the island's pressing needs. Augustine called for greater investment, especially in tourism, noting Barbados spends over $40 million annually on marketing, while Tobago gets less than $10 million. He insisted Tobago must receive higher funding than Trinidad's districts to close the developmental gaps. Additionally, with the THA term nearing its end, the PNM Tobago Council held its screening process, reviewing 17 nominees, confirming 7 candidates in one night at the John Dial Community Center. Political leader of the PNM Tobago Council, Ansel Dennis, praised the applications, especially the involvement of vibrant, service-driven youths. The confirmed candidates represent Tobago West, with more screening planned for the remaining districts. Dennis, who was also nominated, said the early start is meant to reconnect with residents and ensure candidates are actively serving communities ahead of the polls. And finally, young cricketers in Tobago will take the spotlight as the island hosts its leg of the Sports TT Primary School Cricket Festival at the Shore Park Recreational Grounds today. This follows the Trinidad leg held from June 23rd to June 24th at the Brian Lara Cricket Academy. The festival concludes Sports TT's primary school cricket coaching program, delivered across all 7 educational districts. The initiative focuses on cricket skills, inclusion, and discipline. Sports TT CEO Jason Williams praised the program's impact, noting over 1,000 students have benefited nationwide. And that was our news in 90 seconds. Guys, this morning I am thanking you so much for staying tuned and, being a part of our conversation. And this morning we are chatting with Assemblywoman Natisha Charles Pantin, good morning, who is also the Secretary for Food Security, Natural Resources, the Environment, and Sustainable Development. Now, there's a lot that's happening. There's a lot that's happening at the divisional level, at the district level, and we are seeing that preparations are happening for the next THA election as we near the end of this first term in office. And, as we start off the discussion this morning, how has it been for you? Do you feel like that time has flown by and you can't believe that you're heading into election again? Or it just started to feel like, okay, even without looking at the clock, there's just this internal feeling that something is coming?
How do I feel? All right. So good morning, everyone. Good morning to Bagatelle Bacalet. I can't explain my feeling thoroughly, but I'll tell you this. Because my personality is always one that I'm prepared, I'm not nervous about anything. I have been consistent, even in times of little, right? Which is a very long time, 3.5 years of little. I have been consistent, I've been visible. So I just think that is just a natural part of life, being assessed frequently. I mean, even in school, you get assessments, you know? So I just think the 4-year term is approaching us, and we'll be assessed according to the resources that we got and how much we were able to be part of the community. And that's it. Yeah.
They say heavy is the head that wears the crown.
Yeah.
And in this 2026 budget presentation,
Mhm.
we've heard a lot about using agriculture to anchor the economy and use it as a tool for economic growth.
Yes.
You know, there are some goals in terms of increasing GDP and
Yes.
increasing local productivity.
Mhm.
What are some of the key strategies that you are implementing to drive this type of economic growth, and specifically seeing that we're coming to the end of a term? How much can one do to have such a realistic impact before the next election?
Well, given that agriculture was almost at zero in terms of every area, and given that when I got in there, we had no money, we were in the minus in terms of development, we had to rework how we would approach, reorganize, revitalize. So we basically had to, start from scratch. And starting from scratch is never easy, because if you have aging infrastructure, you have outdated old equipment that you had to get rid of in some instances. So you're really starting from scratch and trying to set that platform so that we can consider growth to begin with. Yeah. It would have been easier if I inherited something, that was already blossoming, so you could measure growth. But now you're really at a start. And let me explain. So, for example, the small ruminant sector, that never got any attention, as a matter of fact. So we had to look at the sector in terms of how farmers, farmers would just send down the animals to Trinidad. You'll hear the sheep van blowing outside the house. And so we had to try to stop that and try to keep our prime breeding stock on the island, right? And then encourage farmers to sell their stock, to Tobagonians, right? So that we could have access on the island first. Yeah. We had to train them on how to do specialty cuts in some of the livestock. Yeah. Because, when you're talking about standards, yeah, even for yourself, right? So we had to train them on master butcher training and, all different types of things. So that in itself was a start. And the stations in agriculture, they are demonstration stations. So the division is not designed to compete. A lot of people think that the Division of Food Security should be planting the food. But if we do that, then the farmers will be competing with farmers, and then you have another issue. So the stations are designed to train farmers, to train young people in getting involved in farming. And that is why we had to start from scratch with everything. So you had to build up livestock pens. As a matter of fact, I made a reference yesterday that we had significant investment in livestock pens in Louisdor, in Hope, in Bleming, right? And we still have Runnymede breeding unit to refurbish. So it's like dusting out everything and really getting back into agriculture. So we provide stock so that people can have access. And I gave them a mandate to increase the stock, 5,000 lambs, 5,000, goat kids. So setting the policy in itself, that helps so that the technical officers would understand the direction that we're heading towards, yeah? But I think that we would have done well. Transforming some of the fish facilities, again, in a deplorable state, right? We would have fixed Roxborough Fish Facility, Belgarden, not saying Belgarden, Barbados Bay, Fish Facility, Culloden Fish Facility, Buku Fish Facility. So we're really trying, right? And then you can't just consider the facility alone because you have to think along the value chain. So that is why, yes, I don't know if everyone following the social media page, the Division of Food Security, persons were asking, where is this? They saw a lot of produce and people packing them neatly and, and when you think about it, you don't just plant and then just sell, you need to know post-harvest techniques, when to harvest your crop so that you don't harvest leafy vegetables during high sunshine because after you harvest it, they're going to wilt. So you need to understand post-harvest techniques, and that is why the packing house is there, right? And you have the technical advice there. So you know when to harvest, when to take to the packing house, you know how to treat the produce and package it. So, I mean, it's a lot to do in agriculture, but we're setting the platform for growth. Yeah?
Excellent. And how, I mean, you indicated that when you came in, there was very little success to inherit. How important is creating a structure that has a foundation for continuity for you? For instance, let's say by any stroke of fate that you may not be in the Division of Food Security next time around. How are you laying a foundation that ensures that whoever comes after you can take the baton and continue to do the work?
Well, I wouldn't be responsible for assessing who would be able to take up the baton, but I can tell you that if you don't understand the sector, you could be easily misled and make the wrong decisions. And that happens, right? Every individual will have their vision, of course. What any person would inherit, they would inherit functioning facilities. You'll inherit new facilities like the palliative care fish facility, right? As opposed to me getting things that I could not use to do anything. Yeah, so I had to refurbish and construct, and so once you have someone with that share the vision and they understand agriculture in its fullest sense, that it's a science and a business, then you should be able to run with it. But I'll tell you something. Once you set the policy and you have trained the personnel, it should be a smooth operation from there, because in nurturing the home gardening unit, you have seen where their responsibilities expanded, and it's going to be further expanded, but they signed on and they're doing an excellent job. You see them doing home servicing the 970 home gardeners that we have. You see them in all the schools, teaching people hydroponics. You see the tractor pool being engaged and sensitizing children on the different farm equipment, and how the different processes involved in agriculture, like banking and all different types of things with the tractors. So we're kind of familiarizing the public as to how things operate in agriculture, and that in itself is a legacy, right? Nobody will fool you. Right? I sent the home garden unit to Trinidad, to Greenage Farms and to other places, and we're teaching them the skills to transfer the knowledge. So that's it. So you have to sort of build capacity at the division level, and then knowledge transfer. You're facilitating knowledge transfer. Yeah?
But you had a launch for one of your projects under your division just last week, I believe.
Say again?
Just last week, you had one of those launches under your division for a new program that was in collaboration with TAGS as well. So tell us a bit about that project and how that can be a part of the sustainability initiative as it pertains to, long-term agricultural investment.
So what you had, I know everybody heard about the homestead program in Trinidad, and recently one of the ministers, I think it's Minister Watts, would have reported that the project failed in a lot of cases. Those farmers, young farmers, never got lands, no infrastructure. And that's what I'm saying. If you don't think along the value chain, you wouldn't understand that agriculture is more than just giving out land. Because if you give the land, they will now come back to you and say, I have no money to make the investment in terms of doing the roads, in terms of putting down the shade houses, in terms of getting the services like shade house, packing house services, post-harvest techniques, understanding the entire value chain, then it will fail. And then we'll be at the same point where we have been for years, still waiting on farmers to produce. And I know a lot of persons would have been trained to pursue agriculture as a career path. But a lot of us, and I include myself because I also went to the Eastern Caribbean Institute of Agriculture and Forestry. And a lot of us didn't have anything to start with. So you spend a lot of years waiting to start. And that is what we're trying to get, eliminate. So we designed an agro park at Friendship. And the process, we sent out a mega farming link on the different platforms. And we have the technical officers looking at what people currently do, assessing different things. Because you may have land already, you might need technical support, right? But if you don't have land, you might be renting in a space or you might be using someone else's land. And they look at your passion, they assess your passion, how driven you are, right? And they have a whole lot of factors that they look at. And then they decide how the shade houses would be distributed. So it's not just about land, but you're getting your shade house, you're getting access to packing house services right there in the agro park. So there are different things that will be designed there so that you don't have to return to the division to now beg for an access road. Then you come and beg for a grant to put up. You understand? So it's just on and you're never getting to produce. So that is one initiative, right? Among all the other initiatives. So different places would have different types of agro parks.
Right.
So, for example, Friendship you wouldn't be able to grow fruit-bearing crops, because you have the airport right there, and you don't want to attract birds, because you see what happened to planes when birds go in to shut down the engine. So that project would be specific to leafy vegetables and maybe things like beetroot, things that wouldn't attract wildlife, right? Okay. So corn and herbs and spices project, you would hear Hope Farm, right? In a similar fashion, we'll be doing small ruminants, right? So different areas will have different types of projects.
And recently I had a conversation with one of the farmers, I believe his name is Mr. Kun, who is developing his own mega farm project, and I believe that it's in alignment with the vision of the division. And during your presentation you would have said how important it is for Tobagonians to have that buy-in to a lot of the development projects that you are doing, so that it's not solely weighted on the shoulders of the division, but there's a shared responsibility for development.
Correct.
And so with that, are these type of, is collaboration happening with these farmers to ensure that, okay, this is our agenda, but you already have resources, you already bringing in world-class equipment, that can benefit us, and training facilities that we can benefit from? What type of partnerships are happening there, to ensure that when we ask people to get involved in development, that we are actually providing the resources to support them when they do?
No, a lot of investment seems to be going there. So I believe that is in partnership with someone. And he would have received the tractor services. He would have received excavator services. That is what he would have gotten. And the access roads, right? Because we did 2.3 miles of access roads in that same Belmont-Gibber Gully area, right? His hope is to do poultry farming. I think it's an excellent drive. It's exactly what we want to happen in that space. Whatever technical advice, he knows the relevant officers, because he has been in contact with some of our senior personnel there, right? So we have been doing the best that we could for that project. I think what they're asking for, and which we already paid for. So we're just hoping that things would be advanced, because we paid for water, for lines to be run in that area, in Corlan, right, in different places. And of course, you know, you'll have politics involved there. So what we managed to get Corlan completed. So Belmont is on the next schedule. Yeah, and we keep following up with WASA to find out when are you going to lay the pipes. Yeah,
Right.
so we are trying to give the support in there.
But with the completion of this project, because we hear him talking about training facilities and all of these things, is this something that the division will be able to partner with, whether it be by offering some of its courses at his facility, having that type of institutionalized partnership where the equipment is there, the facility is there, the ideas are there, but to embrace it as being a part of Tobago's development. This is somebody who, on an individual level, claims to have mortgaged his property for this project because of the vision that he has, which seems to align with the vision that you have.
Right.
So is it something where, after it's finished, the division might, because as a part of the TARI, project, maybe have some courses done there?
Right. Well, just like the farms, his site could also be a demonstration farm, right? Children will be able to go there. It could be a demonstration site. So I don't understand the full mechanics of the, the background as to, what he's doing there in terms of, him mortgaging and his partnerships, the relevant partnerships. But I know definitely that the services that the division offers, right, he also had access to it and has been accessing, right? And as I said, we are going to provide the necessary infrastructure, seeing that everything was, like we used to say a long time before, behind, Yeah, to give people land and then they have to come back and beg you for the road and they have to come back and beg you for the lights, right? And which you don't necessarily always have the funding to do so at a particular time, yeah? But we have been providing these services as best as we can among other farmers as well, in conjunction with Mr. Kun, yeah?
Understood.
Yes, it's a balancing act. Sometimes you may want to, you might send somebody by one farmer, but the farmer might want to keep them for 2 weeks. You have that kind of issue. And that is why we encourage as much access to grant funding, so that you too can also purchase what you need, so that you don't have to always wait on the government. And that is why we separated the commercial farmers from the home gardeners, so that we deliver the type of support that each stakeholder would want. So that is why I keep telling people that we took a no to Executive Council, so that you can access grant funding under BDU now, to support your farm operations. Yeah. And I think the Goodly Secretary also launched a loan program, right, that you can now access. Yeah. So you have to think about your as agriculture as a business, as an investment, that you would reap the benefits in time to come, right? So that is how we're trying to encourage persons. And we're hoping that the allocation, because we have a $100,000 grant, they also have access to that, right? And we're hoping that the allocation finally comes to Tobago, so that they don't necessarily the technical officers are to come up from Trinidad to do the assessment, so that everything can be done from Tobago. But aside from that, we still took a note to Executive Council, so you can get the necessary support at the Division of Finance.
In the last presentation, in his midterm budget review presentation in the Parliament, the Minister for Finance, Minister Tanku, he would have, highlighted the fact that moving forward, the aim is to have a greater relationship with the Tobago House of Assembly, in that all projects being done in Tobago will require consultation with the Tobago representatives and the divisions, the relevant divisions. Do you see this as being a means where Tobagonians would be able to better benefit from those national grants and national programs? And have you seen any movement in that area as yet?
The Tobago perspective is extremely important. Now, I've worked with the division for 18 years, and maybe that's the advantage. When you actually get to work within the departments, then it becomes easy to understand the division of the division and move forward. Yeah. So understanding the Tobago perspective is extremely important. Now, we have been battling issues with wildlife like forever, and we continuously say and write and propose that, certain game species, right, we need to treat it differently in Tobago as opposed to just a general law for both islands. Yeah. And we will continue advocating in a manner that would benefit farmers. In the absence of that, we still try to tackle some of the bird pest issues. So that is why that was the reason for getting the bird squawkers, right? For pest management, because cocoa couldn't thrive in Tobago with the parrots, with the cockroaches. And that is why we implemented that. So when farmers had an issue, we could just come in and treat with it. So we didn't sit and wait on Trinidad to hear us. Right, so we're going to continue pursuing that discussion with them, and of course, we already started the conversation of having meetings to address some of the burning issues under the division. Right, we have had that discussion about the incentives for farmers. Usually, it's a rebate program that we have. It's a national program. You spend your money and then you get a rebate, and it sort of protects the public purse, because sometimes you may give a grant for something, and something pops up and they don't use it for what it was they signed up for. So usually you pay and then you get a rebate, right? But there are some instances, as I said, because even I went to ECIA. And then when I came out, you had to sit there and wonder, okay, what avenues? And then people will tell you, well, you don't have resources, so you have to start from scratch and build and build. But having access to the grant, and people who really want to pursue agriculture as a career path, that would help in some instances, yeah? So we're already having that discussion. You see the Tobago perspective, understanding that Tobagonian, sometimes you're really starting at zero. You come from a big family, or you come from a family that you don't have a lot, but you have a lot of knowledge and you have passion, right? What exists in this space so that I can pursue agriculture as a career path?
Excellent. Well, we're going to take a quick break right here, and we'll be back right after this. So see you soon.
New morning, rise up to a brand new dawning as the passion start to rise. The energy fill the skies. I say thanks for
happening this Friday, June the 27th at Shaw Park Food Hub. TPP Women's Council present their fundraiser cookout. When I tell you, we have meat, we have chicken, $50. Fish, $60. When I tell you pork, Lord pork, $60. When I tell you, we have sides like vegetable rice, cornmeal dumpling, cassava dumpling. We have kalaloo. We have lentil peas, pigeon peas. When I tell you, watch me, leave home your back. Walk with your belly in your hand. When I tell you, and you see them ladies and them, when you hear they cooking that pork, it'll melt in your mouth like marshmallow when you're eating it. When I tell you that pork, the sweet boy. Bad talk we and by we out. You know we love that. Just come to Shaw Park. We have it. We have quality of food. No black meat. Only gold. Only gold. Remember TikTok boss tell all of that.
Hair goals, we've got them. At S&R Hair Fantasy, we provide a wide variety of quality hair, the latest hair accessories, adult toys, skin lightening products, female underwear, and much more under one roof. Check us out on Shelbourne Street in Plymouth or call us at 317-0808. We're open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. S&R Hair Fantasy for queens who know exactly what they want.
Welcome back to Good Morning Tobago right here on Tobago Updates. This morning I have had the privilege of sitting and chatting in studio with Assemblyman Natisha Charles Pantin, who's also the Secretary for Food Security, Natural Resources, the Environment and Sustainable Development. This morning we've been chatting about a number of developments in the agricultural sector, specifically pertaining to the allocation that Tobago is requesting as it pertains to using agriculture to anchor economic growth. But there's also a number of things happening at the district level in your area. Talk to us about that.
Okay. Now, before I get to the district, I want to just point out that we have been doing a lot of work at the division level, at the Tobago-wide level, that Tobagonians should boast about and feel proud of. And these are achievements that we have been, that never been experiencing before, struggling to achieve. Within 3.5 years, we were able to have a breakthrough. And I just want to point out that even though you have members opposite bashing the very Tobagonians that they're hoping to get their support from, they have been doing a remarkable job and pushing forward. And it's a reflection of my personality, that you just keep going regardless of how difficult things could get. So I'm just going to point that out. Being able to export fish, everybody would have understood what TADCO went through in order to become a viable company. And to see that TADCO is now exporting fish to St. Vincent, and they're about to export fish to Barbados, including flying fish. They are negotiating with other countries in the region, and I think TADCO is doing an excellent job. And I want to commend the board, I want to commend the management for doing an excellent job. They have a barrage of products. TADCO used to sell foreign chicken, for example, cheese, everything foreign. You could have find in TADCO on TADCO compound. And now you have a one-stop local shop at TADCO where you can get even ice cream that I didn't know existed. I now eat Tobago cassava pone ice cream, right? And it tastes like pone. I love pone. I make pone, right? So you have waffle mix, dasheen cereal, and you have all the local meats, pork, beef, chicken, goat, lamb. You can get it at Tadco. So I want to commend the board and management, and I was really happy to hear that very soon some of these products will be found in duty free at Piarco Airport. So that means that you would have achieved international standards, yeah? So that it can leave the shores of Tobago and you can now say this is a Tobago brand, farine, right? These are things that we would have never been able to achieve. So I want to commend the companies, right? TARI, that is the Tobago Agriculture Research Institute, being able to, I used to take a boat and go down to Trinidad. I used to struggle sometimes. I'd come up, do my projects, and then tote them on the boat to go down. Right now, you can study in Tobago and get all your certificates in Tobago, both in agriculture and agro-processing from UTT. Right? So I want to commend, right, that committee as well, that board as well. And TAGS, being able to push for the first Agritech Summit. The first. And I mean, I know we have a lot of archaic operations and people hold on to the traditional type of methods of farming and fishing. But being able to try to push through, right? Because your start was good, but being able to push through so that people can come on board to understand the technologies, that in itself, you should be applauded as well, right? So I want to encourage reforestation, being able to implement user fees across the island, Little Tobago, Botanics, Corland, and very soon the Mainridge Forest Reserve, right? These are things that we would have been struggling for years to do, being afraid to take this step. So you need to commend yourselves, yeah? We can do great things, and that is what we meant by building the greatest city island on the planet. Being able to become creative in a space where that requires creativity, right? Understanding the vision of the secretary, the vision of the administration, and being able to run with it, accepting new ideas, thoughts, being able to be trainable. So I want to commend you, each and every category of worker. Right? At the level of the constituency of the electoral district, I try to focus mainly on things that people weren't getting all the time for decades. Bagatelle Bacolet, it's very near to the heart of Scarborough. And we had a lot of areas without lights. Celestial View, Bacolet Point, even Bacolet that people think would be already, don't need a lot of infrastructure. Bacolet Point, Inez. We had French Fort. French Fort didn't have any lights, right? Cradley, Adelphi, areas in Adelphi. These are a lot of areas. This is very close to Scarborough. And now they have lights. Right, Assemblyman George would have pursued, along with myself, to get those lights at settlements, because public utilities is under settlements. So I want to send my regards to him, assisting me to push through. Right, we had a lot of infrastructural problems, right? Being able to refurbish the steps at Friends Field. Right? Drainage issues. We still have roads to fix, a lot of roads to fix, yeah? So these are the things that I've been focusing on. Putting in the drains in Bacolet, putting in the drains in Mason Hall, trying to fix roads, right? We're still doing that, right? But we're able to advance and then finally get somewhere after decades. And I live within the electoral district, born and grew. Right? So I understand fully what it feels like not to be comfortable in my own space. Right? Even in terms of employment, a lot of young people, for the first time, the experience, being able to come out to work in the private sector, in the public sector, and having the experience. I mean, to see young men who they don't even know how to operate a cutlass, a hoe, and you're seeing them getting the training, right? That in itself is a blessing, right? Because not everybody would qualify to, at a degree level.
Right.
So at every level, you're seeing people that they have the degrees and they have opportunities, right? As well as if you didn't, you weren't successful at exams, you now have opportunities where you could even come to TARI, right? If you want to pursue agriculture and sign up and get a certificate, which would open a slew of opportunities, right? A barrage of opportunities, yeah, for you, right? Because once you have a certificate, you can access the Youth in Agriculture grant. So we have been implementing different programs, sports. You see that we're heavy into the football, right? We have a lot of little community initiatives meeting and greeting people and getting to understand what makes them uncomfortable in their own space. Even simple garbage collection, we have issues with that. A lot of pipes burst all the time, so you could tell there's a lot of aging infrastructure. So keeping up with, all those burst pipes all around, right? And Wassa digging up all the holes around Tobago, trying to keep up with that. But again, things that they have not gotten before, those are the things that we're trying to solve, right? So among all the big projects, right, understanding that Tobagonians, and that's why I said the Tobago perspective is extremely important. Right. When you come out from your home, because in going to school, I remember putting on boots and walking out the road to go to school. So being uncomfortable in your own space, right? Comfort. That is what we're looking at. Even we have the community care package program right now for low-income households and persons that have non-communicable diseases, right? We're in a partnership with the Division of Health. So we monitor and you get all those fresh produce from Tobago, and they try to train you on how to eat properly, right? So that you manage whatever, disease or non-communicable disease that you're battling with. So we're trying to make a healthier community. So even if you have a low income in your home, that you don't gravitate to more of the things that would make you unhealthy because you don't have the resources to purchase fresh food, right? So we are getting along. It's all about actually caring about people, right? And I believe that, I've been visible all the time. I've been consistent, which is most important. And that is why maybe I'm relaxed, because I know that I've been showing that I didn't now jump up and say I'm going and do something.
Right.
I've been consistent all throughout as a secretary and at the community level.
Excellent. Well, we want to thank you so much for your time this morning. Thank you for, giving us some insight into how this administration plans to, execute particular agricultural products or projects that should be the foundation for anchoring that economic growth for Tobago. And guys, we want to thank you so much for being a part of this morning's discussions. Thank you for your likes, your shares, and your comments, and all that you have been doing and continue to do to make Tobago Updates the #1 broadcaster here on the island of Tobago. Again, I am Chanel Felix, and have a great day.